story we have been following throughout the past 2 days surrounds the superstar herself, Caitlin Clark, the WNBA star, the Indiana Fever star, Caitlin Clark. She's going to miss all the action on the court.
Caitlin Clark gets hurt, and guess what? Your demand vanishes because people ain't going to pay up to see these athletes that are ungrateful that their sport's growing. People aren't paying up for that. And we are here, right here. The tickets for this game, for this All-Star game, they've dropped by 50%.
For the WNBA, what was meant to be Caitlin Clark's inauguration week in Indianapolis has devolved into a nightmare. In anticipation of high attendance and enormous profits, the city placed a huge 34-story Clark advertisement on the JW Marriott. Instead, the All-Star game was boycotted by irate fans and left empty seats. Everyone is asking the same question. How did the league transform the hometown celebration of its top talents into a financial catastrophe? What was Cathy Engelbert's final statement regarding the All-Star Weekend officiating crisis? The response highlights every issue with the WNBA's treatment of the athletes who genuinely attract fans. If you believe the WNBA will ever learn its lesson, please share your thoughts in the comment section below. Come on.
The Indianapolis, look, this is what everybody's been talking about. This right here, Caitlin Clark, the banner right there on the JW Marriott. It is 34 stories banner, unbelievable, is the largest banner ever on the JW Marriott. You may think about the bracket. Remember back in the NCAA tournament back in 2021? Yeah, it's bigger than that as well. 113,000 square feet. It is unbelievable. And you see what it says, from downtown in my town. No doubt, this is something that is grabbing everyone's attention. And who else better to be on that than the star herself, Caitlin Clark?
Indianapolis spent months preparing for the anticipated biggest WNBA weekend in history. The city installed a replica all-star basketball court at the airport. Local businesses stocked up on inventory and hired additional employees. Tickets for Gainbridge Fieldhouse sold out within hours of going on sale. According to TickPick, the average resale ticket price for the WNBA All-Star Game was $262, with the best seats fetching thousands of dollars.
Really unfortunate that Caitlin Clark missed it. The crowd would have been exploding. The crowd would have been exploding. The arena would have been exploding. Oh man, a big miss as far as the WNBA is concerned.
Then came July 17th. Clark's groin injury announcement hit social media, and everything changed in real time. The ticket market could actually be seen collapsing hour by hour. After the news broke, those 262 average prices fell to $64 in a matter of hours. That represents a 75% decrease in value. Additionally, vendors were in a frenzy. The market for resale fell into utter collapse. Suddenly, those who had purchased tickets as investments were attempting to sell them for steep losses. The admission fee decreased from $121 to about $65. Furthermore, buyers weren't exactly buying in bulk, even at those incredibly low prices. This wasn't a slow deterioration over several days. This financial calamity was occurring on social media in real time.
From $121 all the way down to just $64 after news broke that Caitlin Clark won't be playing. These are people saying, I'm done. I don't want to watch. Caitlin Clark's not. I bought tickets solely to watch Caitlin Clark in the All-Star game. I made accommodations solely to get to Indiana to watch Caitlin Clark in the All-Star game. She is injured. I have no interest in that anymore. People are selling their tickets so much so they just want off of them. 121, okay. You want it for 100? Oh no, okay. I guess I gotta lower it to 80. Oh, you don't want to buy it for 80? Okay, I guess I'll lower it to 70. You don't want to buy it to 70? I guess I'll lower it to $64. The WNBA is paying attention to these trends, and they're seeing firsthand what Caitlin Clark is worth to this league.
What makes it even more brutal? This pattern had occurred previously, but never at this scale. Clark's absence from regular season games in May due to a quad strain led to a big decline in road game costs. Prices for Washington games decreased by 47%, while high-demand Chicago games fell by 71%. but they were regular season games. The crash occurred during her hometown's All-Star game, which was rare.
The ticket prices, the demand fell off a cliff. And it's not just the on-court product that suffers without number 22, Caitlin Clark. The entire weekend's economic opportunities have felt the fallout.
The first non-allowed of the season was going to occur at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Consider that. For the largest basketball weekend Indianapolis has held since the NBA All-Star Game, a stadium that had been full for nearly 2 years for every Fever game was now facing empty seats. Everyone who had to do the math found it brutal. Sellers who had spent thousands on products for the All-Star weekend were facing enormous losses. Hotels and restaurants that had anticipated record attendance were suddenly considering cancellations. As reality sunk in, downtown Indianapolis had an economic rippling effect.
But when it comes to the vendors in the arena, the shops in the arena, they're not going to have the same amount of people patronize their business as they would if Caitlin Clark was there. The surrounding restaurants, the surrounding areas, the surrounding attractions, they're not going to have the same number of people patronize their business as they would if Caitlin Clark was healthy.
This was more than just one player missing a game. Fans clearly communicated who drives interest in the WNBA. When other star players are injured, ticket prices do not fall drastically. The market argued that without Clark, the All-Star game was not worth attending. The crash revealed something the league did not want to admit. The team's record-breaking season revolved around a single player. Without her, attendance records and revenue milestones seem less spectacular.
This year, for the second time ever, the WNBA All-Star Game was supposed to feature an actual star. Normally, this celebration of pretend basketball features players that no one's ever heard of.
Clark sustained a groin injury that was not unexpected. Referees' refusal to call rising rough play led to this outcome. The refs remained silent while opposing players grabbed, shoved, and hammered Clark.
How did we get to an all-star game in Indiana where Caitlin Clark is not healthy enough to play? Well, it all started last year, in her rookie season, where she received 20% of all the flagrant fouls in the league. And most of them came from Angel Reese in the Chicago Sky. And these weren't basketball plays. They were not only fouling her, but they were getting up, laughing about it, laughing about Caitlin Clark getting assaulted. Any other work environment, people go to jail for what's going on.
Stephanie White saw something coming from afar. Throughout the season, the Fever coach has criticized the double standard in officiating, claiming that certain players are able to play with greater aggressiveness against her than others. White wasn't overly dramatic. She witnessed her best player being beaten repeatedly in games, while referees ignored the situation.